What if a sudden 30% spike in global soybean oil prices slashed Hellmann's profit margins by 20%, threatening over $2.5 billion in annual mayonnaise sales overnight? That's the high-stakes reality behind every creamy dollop on your sandwich.
On today's AGRI 360X, airing at 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. daily, we'll dive into market scale and Hellmann's dominance, soybean oil supply shocks and trade tensions, egg production conflicts and welfare pressures, processing and manufacturing bottlenecks, sustainable oil crop innovations, precision poultry and egg welfare solutions, packaging sustainability and circular economy targets, traceability and consumer trust programs, product diversification and health trend reformulations, conclusion and call to action. Scene 3. Market scale and Hellmann's dominance. The global mayonnaise market tops $14 billion annually, growing at a 5% CAGR, driven by rising demand for convenient, flavor-boosting condiments. Hellmann's, branded best foods west of the Rockies, commands roughly 18% of that market, about $2.5 billion in retail sales, making it the world's best-selling mayo. In the US, Hellmann's holds 23% share of refrigerated condiments, translating to some 220 million jars moved each year. From deli counters in New York to sandwich shops in Sao Paulo, Hellmann's ubiquity hinges on a complex web of soybean farms, egg ranches, processing plants, and global logistics. But behind every jar sits a delicate balance between raw material costs, supply chain resilience, and evolving consumer expectations.
Soybean oil supply shocks and trade tensions. Soybean oil accounts for 65% of Hellmann's base recipe. In 2023, adverse weather in Brazil and Argentina, the world's top two soybean producers, cut yields by 15%, driving soybean oil futures up 30%. At the same time, export restrictions imposed during geopolitical tensions forced U.S. crushers to scramble for alternative feedstocks, inflating procurement costs by 25%. Hellmann's procurement teams faced the choice of absorbing costs, eroding margins, or passing hikes to consumers, risking volume declines in a price-sensitive category. The solution lay in diversifying oil sources. A pilot program blended 10% sunflower and high oleic canola oil into select SKUs, cushioning volatility and securing a 5% cost reduction during peak shortage months. Egg production conflicts and welfare pressures. Egg yolks provide Hellmann's signature velvet texture and emulsification. Nest-laid eggs from cage-free systems now supply over 70% of volume, driven by retailer humane mandates. Yet cage-free egg production costs 15 to 20% more per dozen, triggering tension between contract farmers and processors. In 2022, an avian influenza outbreak wiped out 10% of U.S. laying hens, sending egg prices up 40% and jeopardizing grade A yolk supply for Hellmann's. Relying solely on intensified cage-free barns proved brittle. Hellmann's responded by investing in a resilient egg network, partnering with diversified growers across the Midwest and northern states to spread disease risk and reduce single-region dependency. This network balanced cage-free, aviary, and pasture-based systems, stabilizing egg costs within 5% year-over-year despite influenza pressures. Processing and manufacturing bottlenecks. Hellmann's 4 U.S. plants process up to 1 million jars per day. Emulsifying vats mix oil, egg yolk, vinegar, and spices under vacuum, then fill jars at 500 units/minute on high-speed lines. Yet any downtime, clogged nozzles, seal failures, or sterilizer maintenance halts production, costing up to $20,000 an hour in lost throughput and idle raw materials. In 2023, a 48-hour unplanned shutdown at the Vista, CA plant due to equipment failure created national stockouts and forced retailers to ration shelf displays. To reduce risk, Hellmann's invested in robotic clean-in-place (CIP) units, sterilizing entire fill lines in under 30 minutes, and predictive maintenance AI that flags wear on pumps and seals before failures occur, slashing unplanned downtime by 60%. Sustainable oil crop innovations. Long-term stability demands sustainable soybean supply. Hellmann's launched the Better Oil Initiative to support regenerative soybean farming in Brazil, and the U.S. farmers adopt cover crops, minimum tillage, and diverse rotations, sequestering up to 2 tons CO2 EEA annually, and improving soil health. Participating growers report 25% higher yield resilience during dry spells and reduce synthetic fertilizer use by 30%. Hellmann's pays a 15-ton premium for certified regenerative beans, funding farmer training and expanding acres under regenerative stewardship from 100,000 to 300,000 within 2 years. Precision poultry and egg welfare solutions. To drive both welfare and efficiency, contract egg producers deploy IoT-enabled aviary systems. Weight sensors track feed intake per bird, environmental sensors adjust ventilation and lighting to optimize comfort, and automated nest cleaners ensure hygiene. These precision tools improved laying rates by 8% and reduced feed conversion ratios by 5%, offsetting the premium for cage-free sourcing. Hellmann's also co-funds research into enriched colony systems, where perches and dust-bathing areas boost hen welfare scores by 40%, earning high marks from animal welfare NGOs while maintaining stable egg output. Packaging sustainability and traceability. Traditional glass and PET jars deliver a 9-month shelf life but pose recycling challenges. Hellmann's piloted mono-PET jars and fully recyclable foil pouches, cutting plastic weight by 20% and boosting curbside recyclability to 90%. Each package now carries a Mayo map QR code linking to origin data, soybean farm regions, egg ranch IDs, and plant batch records, empowering consumers to verify sustainability claims in seconds. Early trials show 68% of shoppers scanned the code and reported increased trust, while retailers reduced promotional markdowns by 15% on tubs featuring full traceability. Product diversification, reformulation, and call to action. Consumer preferences for lower-fat and plant-based options drove Hellmann's to introduce light, 30% less fat, and vegan lines, accounting for 12% of mayo portfolio sales by 2024. Reformulating without compromising creaminess required innovative emulsifiers, pea protein and chickpea-derived lecithin, and flavor adjustments. The vegan line commanded a $0.20 per jar premium and grew at 25% CAGR. From volatile oil and egg supply to processing resilience, regenerative sourcing, and eco-packaging, Hellmann's navigates a complex agricultural and manufacturing landscape to deliver consistency and taste. Mid-episode CTA. Which innovation? Regenerative soy, precision aviaries, or recyclable mono-PET jars? Would you pilot first? Comment below. Final CTA. What surprised you most about Hellmann's $2.5 billion mayonnaise story? Drop your insights below. Like if you learned something new, and subscribe to AGRI 360X, airing daily at 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. for your next deep dive into ag innovation.